middle name is Macho. But I'm wondering if you ever cry. Has Macho Man ever cried?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Uh-huh. It's okay for macho men to show every emotion available right there, you know, because I've cried 1,000 times, I'm gonna cry some more. But I've soared with the eagles and I've slithered with the snakes and I've been everywhere in between. And I'm gonna tell you something right now. There's one guarantee in life, and that there are no guarantees, yeah. And understand this. Yeah. Nobody likes a quitter. Nobody said life was easy, so if you get knocked down, take the standing 8 count, get back up, and fight again. And you're a macho maniac. Dig it.
Jackson Podcast.
I bet y'all ain't think y'all see the kid back this fast. You know, we did a dope show this weekend talking about the death of Charlie Kirk, the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and we touched on a few hip-hop topics, but we back to it on Hump Day. I hope y'all getting y'all money, enjoying life, spending time with your family, doing your thing, man. We got a good show going for real talk, man. Salute and thank you to all the new subscribers, man. We got over 1,500 new subscribers, 500,000 views so far this month. I know that may not be much to some content creators, but for everybody that subscribed to my platform and watching the content and reacting to the content, the educational content especially, I'm very appreciative of you, man. Real talk. Give yourself a round of applause, man. And also make your presence felt too, though, man, in the comment section, or, you know, react to some of the shows and just let me know y'all thoughts and perspectives on some of the things that's been trending in the world and some things I should discuss also. What are some things y'all want to see me discuss? But this episode, I got to talk about that Breakfast Club interview with Dame Dash. I just got to. That was a wild interview. It was a great interview. It was a lot of back and forth, insults, a lot of things that I feel like Dame needed to get off of his chest. His first interview with the Breakfast Club was viral, and it was a dope episode. Also, I want to talk about some things that was said on Cam Newton platform with T.I.'s son that was, you know, it was a special conversation. They was talking about the big three, J. Cole, Kendrick, and Drake. Another thing I want to converse about also is the Clipse. Ooh-wee. That performance at the Vatican. The first hip-hop artist to perform at the Vatican, that was a special performance, man. And we got to start the show off with the It Is What It Is thing. You know, Adrien Broner, that's a wild boy. But before we get into the episode, you know I always got to create the vibes with the music, man. Thank y'all for tapping in. If you new here, subscribe to the channel and chop it up with the kid. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Real. Yeah. Right. That's right. Oh yeah. Feel it, baby. Yes. Another day, another dollar. It's about getting money. Then you can give me a holler. My nose running. I've been out in the cold, hustle for so long. My hands numb, but bet I feel that paper hit my palm.
It's like, oh shit, it's on. Time to go shopping for cars, not fashion. I whips be the bomb. My clothes be the same shit that we had on. Fuck looking cute, say that for the bros.
It's the AJBO, C dump and reload. Knock, knock, answer that, I'm clapping through the peephole. Body charges, paid lawyers, so we be those. Get locked in, I'm slutting lady CEOs.
And we the only niggas you know that fuck they POs. They push our files to the top, you still on parole. We got money to roll, no time for penitentiaries. Too much dollars to fold, it's bulging out our jeans.
Yeah. But losing ain't an option, girl. My destination is top of the world. Top of the world. So losing ain't an option, girl. My destination is top of the world. Top of the world. Y'all like bitches, the chit chattering. Stay not liking it, nigga, but giving that to them. Half don't change for no chick, and they adapt to them. Never get cool with you niggas, I end up clapping them.
Federal, no fetish. You fuck with my niggas Franklin and Grant, get your ass glam with the quickness. Y'all niggas is finished. You overdosing the world with that cute shit. It's time for this realness.
And here I go again, letting the Mac blow. Slugs bubble up in your stomach like lactose. I'm a dig shorty, put it up in a backbone for real. Put it on it like a check,
know what?
Rapped on for
we
real.
Outlive labels and distributors. We run laps around A. Artists on your payroll, then hop up in the railroad. Jet black with the black rims, killing your bitch in a A-hole.
Y'all can tell I'm excited for that new release that Mobb Deep is dropping on 1010 on Nas' label Mass Appeal. I'm excited for it. The first single was dope, man. I hope y'all checked out that episode too. I seen it got a few views, a few comments. People was, excited about the culture. Just the older individuals releasing great music. But I want to get into this first topic. The fight was last week, Canelo and Crawford, and it was a great fight, man. I'm a connoisseur of, good boxing, the popular boxing. I'm not too well versed on boxing and educated about it. I don't know the analytics and how great this boxer is and everything. I'm going to be honest. I'm just getting up to speed with Bud, Terrence Crawford. The display he put on in that fight, that was special. It was real special, man. It was a great fight. I enjoyed myself. I like what Netflix is doing also. I feel like after watching that fight, Netflix need to take over all the fights. What y'all think about that? I feel like they did better than Showtime, HBO, and all of that. I was just cooling in the crib with my subscription. And, it wasn't no hassle to be able to get it. I didn't have to pay no $100, no extra fees. I feel like Netflix did a good thing. And with that being said, on It Is What It Is platform, Cam and Mace, they had Adrien Broner on discussing the fight. At one point in time, I felt like Adrien Broner was next. When he came in the game, I think Floyd Mayweather was locked up. At that time, he was representing Floyd. He was fighting. He was whooping ass. He looked like he was the next thing to blow. Then all of a sudden, he started taking L's. He started having a lot of antics about himself. And he just fell off. I feel like he's still young enough to make a comeback to fight for 2, 3, 4, 5 more years or whatever, though. But, man, the display he did on It Is What It Is platform, it was all foolishness, man. Real talk.
So good in person.
Thank you.
For
I
real.
appreciate that.
Hey,
what you waste that? I love you. What a guy. I'm sorry. My bad, y'all. My bad.
Arabia, is that a real background?
Hey, Stack, could you stop
Yes.
Can you stop smiling?
Arabia is.
nah, yo, bro, some G, yo, bro, some G shit. We got a my boyfriend here, yo.
Right. Oh, shit.
I told you that.
My bad.
Nah, it's all okay, we can move on to football then.
Stat. Oh my God.
Yo, Stat, let's do the football. I guess that answered the question about Floyd. When I see you taking off some time,
I'm mesmerized by Stat.
This nigga here, bro.
I did not know you looked that good in person. My bad, bro. You're amazing.
All right, hey, we gonna have to ask you to go, my nigga. I have to ask you to go, man. I'm gonna pay you for your time, for being here. I appreciate you. I love you, my nigga.
I'm not doing it again.
Yeah, no. I can't. I asked you the first time. I don't have no problems with you, but I'm gonna pay you for your time. But you can't violate, bro. I told you that.
I'm not, though. I'm not.
Nah, I told you niggas boyfriends in here. You know when my brother know that.
My bad, bro. My bad.
Nah. But I appreciate your time.
It's me.
Nah, well, if you want to wait for us outside, you could. But I'm not gonna sit in and not value your time neither. You want to wait for me? You could, but I appreciate it, bro. You gotta step out.
Cam said, if you want to wait for us outside, that's cool too. I wonder what he meant by that, because that could mean a multitude of things, But first of all, I want to give Cam a round of applause for handling that the way that he handled that. You know, he handled that gracefully, peacefully, like a man. He knew how to conduct himself. He knew how to, you know, communicate what needed to be done. Stat Baby is a young female, man. Cam and Mace, if they ain't 50, they close to 50 years old. They look at her like a little sister. You know, so to be honest with you, I feel like Adrien Broner was disrespecting the platform. But Adrien Broner also, to just think about his career and think about him in that incident, I feel like he could be dealing with some brain injuries. You know, I don't know if it's CTE, like what they be dealing with in football and everything, though. Or he could have been high on Percocets or lean, or he could have been drunk or whatever and just acting belligerent. But that's creepy. Talking to a woman like that on a platform that is giving you an opportunity to speak about the sport that you participating in, it could have helped you or motivated you to want to get back in the ring and get your shit together. Instead, you come on there and make a fool out of yourself, dog. The only thing that I can say about that is that he mentioned that her boyfriend was there twice. You know, that could be, it's deeper than the boyfriend, you know, to me. The reason I say that is because, like, the boyfriend matters and he don't matter. The disrespect is what matter more. But I don't know if the boyfriend is a crash out, because he could have crashed out and did damage to the equipment, or could have just started something, and you a professional boxer. It could have got ugly. Even though, you know, I feel as if, like, you know, the boyfriend don't matter. Take it in your own hands, Cam, and handle the business. And he did do that. You know, another thing that was interesting is by him giving him cash. You know, that looked like you a petty ass little nigga. So here your little money. You know, I ain't gonna waste your time. Take your whole ass on. Here your little 5, 10,000, whatever I got to give you. Go on, handle your business. I ain't gonna waste your time, but you ain't gonna waste mine either. Salute to Cameron one more time for the way he handled that. But what was nasty, though, is that after it was all said and done, Adrien Broner was trying to get his attention when he was out the building and everything, and Cam had this to say.
I'm going high.
Say that again. I'm sorry. Let's take that over.
Yeah.
Nigga, I was looking at
Good.
I'm sorry.
I'll do it again. 5.
Somebody, this nigga want to talk to me. And nigga, you a alky, nigga. I don't want to talk to you, nigga. I just needed you for entertainment for the show. Fucking junkie. Go ahead, man. My bad.
No, you're all good. 5, 4, 3, 2. Welcome back. Now let's get into our underdog picks of the day on Thursday.
You know, it's a lot of niggas that be led by lust and don't know how to control themselves around women, or don't know how to articulate themselves around women. And her man was there, though. That was unnecessary. That ain't what you there for. She is a beautiful young lady, though, but, you know, she seems like she's a very intelligent young lady also. And the way you conducting yourself ain't even attractive. That's not attractive to women that know how to conduct themselves and they smart and all of that. That's just nasty business. And the way he handled himself was nasty business. And, man, I just wish you well, AB, man. He platformed you and gave you an opportunity, and you didn't appreciate the platform. Real talk. Now, we get ready to switch the topic up, man. I didn't have too much to say about that. That was just nasty business, and I just wanted to address it. But I want to get into this Breakfast Club situation because, you know, Dame Dash has been all over the internet, teeth falling out. He been on Art of Dialogue at his ranch talking crazy with the pistol hanging out his pocket, still mentioning Jay-Z and stuff. And I want to say something before I get into this because I may be a little bit, you know, hard on Dame. But one thing I want to say is that I'm rooting for Dame Dash to get back. I'm rooting for him to get back. I'm going to address why I'm rooting for him to get back after we play a couple of the clips, because it's just like falling from grace publicly is just, golly, man, it's crazy.
The Paid in Full. What about it? Did you own Paid in Full? Like, how did 50 Cent acquire ownership of Paid in Full? Let me ask you a question. Let's put this in.
That's not how this works, Dan. No.
I'm sorry.
I asked the question.
You just cut me off. Right? Now I want you to notice every time you do that.
Okay.
And they would say I'm bugging if I yelled, but please let me complete my sentence. And please don't tell me how we do things. That's going to be a trigger. So I'm just talking normally. Do you remember when 50 Cent was supposed to be putting out a documentary about Puff on Netflix?
Yes.
Where is it?
I think it's still happening.
Yeah, right. He's capping. So I talk a different language than most people. I'm a boss. So number one, there is no rights to be bought. So I knew he was trolling. And you got to remember, Cam tried to have my son come on. Well, let me ask you this. Do you think messing with people's children is all right? Can you answer that question? That's not fair.
No, because you didn't answer the original
I
question.
did answer it. I just told you. He's capping.
So he didn't get the rights to it.
How would that's the thing is, you know what the problem is?
The problem is how
you cut me off again.
Things. I'm asking you a question for you to answer.
You cut me off again. See this?
No.
You know, it was interesting. I started doing my research about 50 Cent obtaining the rights to Paid in Full. The rights to what? To the movie, to the creation of new things. And you know, I couldn't find nothing with my own research, so I just put in ChatGPT. I'm gonna tell y'all what I put in there. I said, how did 50 Cent acquire the rights to Paid in Full? So this is what ChatGPT told me. You know, what is known? 50 Cent says he owned the rights, publicly claimed that he acquired the rights to the 2002 film Paid in Full, and that he wants to develop a premium TV series based on it. We already knew that, chat. Cameron is involved, who was originally in the film, is being credited as an executive producer on the upcoming series version. We already knew that, chat. Dame Dash disputes it. One of the original producers of Paid in Full has publicly challenged 50 Cent's claim. So he was just an original producer. It don't even say an executive producer. Implying that the rights might not have been legitimately transferred, or at least that he doesn't believe they were. So number 4 thing that it said, no publicly released documents. There's been no public filing, no contract made available, no lawsuit yet that lays out the terms, how much was paid, from whom, what exactly was transferred, film rights, sequels, merchandising, etc. So that's according to Black Girl Nerds. This is all the information that ChatGPT seen on the internet, because if it's on the internet, Chat got access to it. So, you know, I feel like it's just a weird space. But when Dame Dash made that take, 50 Cent got on his Instagram and responded. And he said, Dame going out bad. I don't know why he would say I'm capping about anything. Award-winning projects takes time. Catch 50 Ways to Catch a Killer on Fox Nation now. So 50 Cent is basically using this attention to promote what he's already doing and to further what he's already doing. Dame Dash made a valid point. What is going on with that Diddy movie, documentary, or whatever that 50 Cent was talking about he was making? Did he scrap it because Diddy, you know, trial is over with now and it looks like it's a positive outcome for Diddy? I don't know what he's about to be sentenced next month, and I'm interested in that and commentating on that though. But, you know, this is just interesting. I feel like Dame Dash didn't evolve. This is the take I want to give. Like, he's stuck in the past, dog. Too bad. He's stuck in the past to the point to where you're dealing with trolls. Charlamagne is a troll. DJ Envy is a borderline troll. 50 Cent is the master troll. Cameron, he petty in a motherfucker. Super petty, Mr. Petty. If it ain't in his best interest, he gonna do whatever it takes to win. And these boys know how to play the internet. Dame Dash has always presented himself as a boss. So he don't want to do the work. You know, these boys are hands-on with the internet and the projects and things that they creating. Dame Dash pays people and he just sit there and talk. it's a different game. You got to be outside now, hands on, big dog. And what I want to say, he seems disgruntled about Jay-Z's evolution. He seems disgruntled about Cameron's evolution, Kanye West's evolution, Kevin Hart evolution. All people that he participated in putting them in the forefront. Now, the way that he put them in the forefront was through music. The game has changed. I'm saying this because, I want people to be aware that you constantly have to transform and change with the times. You can't depend on what originally made you successful. You can stay there and keep doing that, though, but the world is forever evolving. People complain about gentrification in the neighborhoods, but was you investing when them properties was easily to invest in? Don't complain about gentrification 15, 20 years down the line when you could have been buying these homes and benefiting off of, the future. Don't be complaining, Dame, that you ain't getting to the podcast, creative, digital commentary space now that people are making millions off of it. People are making millions off of fashion. Jay-Z, he made millions off of Tidal in the streaming service. And, people evolved from music, Dame. You still view yourself as the big boss nigga, the nigga who put the boys in position when they have evolved from that. Let's get into the next thing that was interesting on her because he was talking to Charlamagne and DJ Envy in ways that I need to address, man.
Guys was kissing, throwing you kisses because they liked your pause butt and you went back. That's gay.
Why do you have such a problem with gay
I don't have a
people?
problem. I have a problem with you. Wait. No. Yeah, that is why I pause. There's a lot of people like you.
That's crazy.
There's a lot of people like you that are gay that don't that pretend they're not. And that's not fair because you're running around. Stop. You're here. You're representing a black man, and I don't want white people.
Black men can't be gay.
You're representing.
Hold on. Answer the question. Black men can't be gay.
Black men that are gay should say they're gay.
Well, I'm not gay.
You are. You're gay. Anyway. Now let me talk to you.
Broke.
Let me
if
ask
I'm
you.
gay, you're broke.
What would you rather do? Have a repo or a RICO?
Neither, but repo.
But you're getting investigated for a RICO.
Am I?
That's what I'm saying.
You're listening to the internet.
That's why I'm talking to you about it. That's what I'm talking to you about. Wait. How should I know? I never heard of these.
So when we ask the question,
yo, I'm talking to him now. See what you're doing? Girls do that. Let me say this.
That was interesting how he played DJ Envy, though, to me. Now, what I want to address the first part of that, because that's a 2-part clip for me, because he addressed 2 people. What's going to happen from this interview that Dame Dash, I don't think, is aware of the internet games is that people like me is going to clip that up and give a perspective and create content from it. But I'm not going to do it from a malicious perspective. I'm just going to give the game to people. Now, Young Thug just did an interview talking about gay and homosexuality. Now, Dame Dash is talking about you gay, Charlamagne. And he had the right to speak on that because Charlamagne bring butt cakes to the radio station to give to DJ Envy for his birthday. He do a lot of, fruitful behavior type of things, though. But you defending yourself because they calling you broke and you trying to give off a perception that you're doing well and stuff, and you giving game and giving knowledge, which he does have educational takes, but he was too bothered by this conversation. And to me, what's going to happen is people going to clip it up. TMZ going to clip it up. Vibe Magazine, Hot New Hip Hop DX, they all going to clip it up. Then the LGBTQ community going to have a problem with it. Not saying that they are powerful enough to hinder Dame Dash in the ways that he may not be aware of, but who's going to want to do business with you? You hindering yourself from furthering business with anybody. Like, you don't want to isolate yourself. I see a lot of people get on YouTube and create niches for themselves. You know, niches is good in some aspects though, but you got to leave yourself open and remain objective. And Dame Dash, at that point in that conversation, talking about Charlamagne, he actually hindered himself. I see it coming along in the future before it even happened that the LGBTQ community is going to, you know, try to attack him for that statement saying that you can be this and you can be that and be gay at the same time. But to me, Charlamagne, if you are that, quit playing those games and come out the closet. I feel like, just being honest, and I don't want to give a harsh take or a malicious take, but if you are that, don't be beating around the bush, hiding it, and participating in things that, you know, that you're not. That's fake. That ain't just, you know, that's fake. That's I'm trying to find the word I'm looking for. That's deceiving. You're deceiving the people. That's deception. You know, if you be who you are. A lot of this entertainment business is based upon deception, but you know, he had a point in saying that, but I don't think it was the time to say it. Now, this whole podcast was created around this part of this conversation because you see, I got it right here. Repo or RICO. Because they calling him broke, talking about his things is being repossessed, talking about his tax dollars and stuff. Now, this is a question for y'all. What would y'all rather deal with? A repossession of everything you've obtained or a RICO case? Because, you know, DJ Envy was deceiving people also. Scamming folks with Caesar Pena and flipping NJ by trying to get people to invest in real estate that wasn't even really a thing. Now, Charlamagne said, you listening to the internet, that's gossip. Hell nah, that was on Fox 5 in New York. Is that gossip too? You know, people can go look at it now, flipping NJ, DJ Envy, dealing with a RICO. And they also, Rory Amal was talking about recently how payola is going to impact Power 105.1 in New York City, Hot 97 in New York City because of payola, making artists pay to get their music played on the radio. They was doing that in my hometown. You know, they ruined the culture in East Tennessee by not playing the artists of East Tennessee, because in East Tennessee it's a lot of dope artists, and I'm getting off the topic, but I'm gonna get right back to it. It's a lot of dope artists in East Tennessee, and we could have created a culture so people could have known what to expect when they came to the town. But at the end of the day, the radio station messed up the town by trying to make people pay or saying that their songs wasn't good enough, so they had to pay. And it was a whole subculture, underground culture that the world didn't get to experience because of the radio station. And I feel like that's foul. But what would y'all rather deal with? Dame Dash situation, everything being repossessed, you having to file for bankruptcy and all of that old type of stuff, or a RICO case? Which one can you come back from first? Because, you know, when I look at these brothers on the Breakfast Club, I feel like DJ Envy ain't built for prison. He's a whole married man with a plethora of kids. He ain't doing none of that stunting he used to do on Instagram. It seemed like he trying to hide some things. But I ain't trying to talk down on DJ Envy. At the end of the day, that's your situation, big dog. But the last take that I'm going to play from this viral interview is this clip right here, because, you know, it was intriguing, man.
I don't think you're a proper representation of the masculine black man. You know what I'm saying? I don't think you guys are.
I'm listening.
Okay.
Like, your OG is Wendy Williams. My OG is sitting right here. You see him? Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna tell you why he's my OG. Because he killed anybody or any of those things. He just taught me how to be a better man.
Wendy, not my OG.
Can you
That's
stop?
funny, though.
Can you stop?
Wendy Williams is your OG.
Wasn't she your boss?
Yeah, at one point.
So
yeah.
she was your OG. She put you on, and you should give her her grace, and you should also give her props out of respect.
Oh, I do.
But because we have different trauma, like, we're different. Like, I'm not the kind of guy that would, like, I'd rather get my ass whipped than run. But you're proud that you ran.
Yeah.
I'd rather get my ass whipped. Let me ask you a question, Dan. You ever ran from a fight?
No.
what would happen if y'all heard that I ran from a fight? That's a masculine way of doing things. Now, you don't see it that way. You like to play like games. Like, I'm not quite, because when you say kids, I was like, and it ain't no disrespect, but I kind of think you're gay. You just act a little gay.
You got a problem with gay people?
Not at all. I've got a problem with people that pretend they're not gay. So let me tell you why.
But
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
This is hilarious. I love
you're
what
gay.
you're doing. This is hilarious.
So what I'm saying is, you might, because you started in gossip, which is, is very feminine, and you are acting like, there's some degree of like, you want people to listen to you, and that we want people that represent masculinity, because men need to be doing what they need to do as men. They don't need to be worried about girl stuff, period.
What's girl stuff?
Talking about people that aren't in the room, that don't have anything to do with them, saying things confidently in front of millions of people and not saying anything.
That was an interesting conversation and an interesting take, and he went back to the gay thing. LGBTQ community is going to be hard on him for that, But what I want to say is that, the Breakfast Club doesn't represent masculinity. And I want to ask y'all a question. Is it important for men to represent masculinity? Because my perception of it, I feel like it is important, because people have expectations from men to be providers and protectors. And when you are constantly consuming this behavior that Charlamagne presents that he's getting paid for, you start to feel and think that that is acceptable. The youth is programming to the youth to think that that activity is acceptable. I'm 45 years old. I rarely listen to the Breakfast Club unless it's something of my interest, or they talking about something that I didn't know happened, because they do that every day. I do a podcast weekly. I'm giving y'all 2 shows this week. Salute. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, though. But, I don't think it's acceptable. Their audience is 18 to 35. So who am I, though? The world has changed. Ain't no grown-ups listening to the Breakfast Club. If you listening to the Breakfast Club and you 40 and up, then you ain't on your business. You got other things that you should be prioritizing besides the Breakfast Club, because they ain't doing nothing but talking tea. They talking tea and gossip. Real spill. And he learned that from Wendy Williams, just like Dame Dash said. But I got more things I want to talk about Dame Dash in this Breakfast Club interview, but I don't want to make it too long of a conversation. One thing that was addressed is that he's become the chairman of Revolt TV. And he was saying that because, he wants to put himself in position as the boss. That's all he want to see himself as, instead of a worker. And he's saying that because of Cameron is at Revolt TV with It Is What It Is. Drink Champs is at Revolt TV. Noriega and them. The Breakfast Club is over there at Revolt TV. And he wants to, make himself the premier person, instead of, like collaborating and working with each other. And it came out, Lauren LaRosa did some digging. The CEO of Revolt TV, he just came out. I just realized that he said some things. I should read it to y'all though, but I just made myself aware of it before I cut the microphone and the cameras on and stuff. But I got the clip from Lauren LaRosa, so I'm going to read that to y'all. Hold up. I pulled the wrong clip up. This one. She said, I just spoke to a lead publicist at Revolt TV who confirms to me Dame Dash is not the chairman of the network. Damn, Dame. Lauren LaRosa did some digging, boy. She be digging. She was doing a lot of digging when the Diddy trial was going on and stuff too, though. I hope she don't get herself in a lawsuit or whatever, though, for, defaming somebody's character or speaking about something that isn't real. And the CEO of Revolt TV said basically the same thing that she said. Y'all can go on what website I seen that off? The Shade Room. The Shade Room has it up right now. You can just put in the search engine Dame Dash Revolt TV CEO, and you can read the document for yourself. He left an email to all of his constituents and stuff, and he talked about that, you know. And we talked about Cameron at the top of the show, but Cameron addressed Dame Dash, saying that he was the chairman of Revolt TV.
What up, blood? What up, blood? What up, blood? What up, gangsta?
Nah, bro. I ain't know you be lying like this, bro. I ain't know you be lying like this, yo. It's sad. They told me, but you know when a nigga your man, you don't pay attention to a lot of shit. I didn't know, bro, that you a flagrant liar like this, man. Now look, Talk with Fleet come on tomorrow, 5 p.m. on Revolt's YouTube. But that was shit that he talked about last week. So part 2 will be out this Friday on Revolt YouTube about what he talked about this week. But I'll say this one thing. This is what I will say. The nigga called Revolt last week and say he wants to put his content on Revolt channel. Revolt programming is booked up until 2026. They don't have any room for programming. So maybe in 2026 or whatever. So I have 2 more shows I could do this year. And so when I found that out, I called my man Fendi, because I know what Fendi and Dane speak. I said, yo, tell Dane I'll put his shows on my slot on Revolt, because I have 2 more shows I could put on Revolt if I can executive produce the shows. I said he did it for me. When I needed help, he put my albums out on Rockefeller, and I let him executive produce them. I'm trying to do the same thing for you. I got 2 slots left. If you want 2 shows on Revolt this year, and you wasn't getting paid because you said you do it for free, I got a couple dollars for you. I'm just the executive producer of the show. He tell Fendi. First he tell Fendi, yeah, he like, I bet. Nah, matter of fact, fuck that, I'm the Godfather. He can't executive produce my shows, Dang, their own God kids don't want you. How you the Godfather of anything? Your word don't count no more. You don't got teeth. You have dentures. Your word don't mean nothing. You fell off the Mount Rushmore of Harlem a long time ago. But we'll address it all tomorrow and Friday. But don't say I ain't trying to help out. You didn't want me to executive produce your TV shows. Could have walked it right in for you. See you tomorrow. Talk with Flea, nigga.
Hey, nigga petty, man. I said that earlier in this whole process of this Breakfast Club reaction that, Dame Dash put his foot in his ass. These brothers are evolving. You still view yourself as their CEO or their leader, but you was their leader in the music industry. These brothers are evolving. He said you ain't on the Mount Rushmore of Harlem no more. Good God. Them Harlem boys petty, man. They always in some chaos. All the way to Jim Jones, all the way to Dame Dash. They got massive egos in Harlem. I don't know what it is about that place, though, but y'all boys a little crazy, though, man. But he played him and said he would give him the same opportunity that you gave me when I was in the music industry to help me. Now I'm here and I got the position and I'm here to help you. I see nothing wrong with that, but I see why Dame Dash views that as a slight, because he views himself as something that he isn't. Damn. I'm getting ready to take a break and play some music. You know how I create the vibes. And I got a couple of more topics. This ain't supposed to be a long show. I want to talk about Domani, T.I.'s son that was on Cam Newton podcast. I want to talk about gun violence and gun rights. I got to get one more topic from the Charlie Kirk assassination because it was sad to me. It was a sad situation. Some people don't view it as that. But if I'm going to talk about that Charlie Kirk situation, I got to talk about the brother that was found hanging in Mississippi, because that's the FBA brother that was, no, let me stop. He wasn't FBA. I just found that out. He was from Grenada. He's not foundationally black. But I want to talk about that. But before that, we're going to get into some vibes with some music. Let's get straight to it.
Hey yo, past few years got so ill, was kinda hard for the God to laugh through tears. I went through something with mama, no drama, something that came and went, real life karma. My pop think his son is deserting him, it's hurting him. Guess I gotta be the man and sit down and work with him. My little boy 7, he the sequel to the thug, so I told him the money will never equal to the love. Listen, I'm grown, y'all. When it comes to my family, it ain't never a problem, it's only a phone call. They tend to take that and run with it. So every other month, I be on some new phone, new numbers. They violated, stay again. Gus totaled the Beamer and broke K leg again. Shh, let us pray again. And I ain't get enough for hanging in the local bars yet. Had to let the thing off cross town in the projects. All these rumors and but I ain't get robbed yet. Ain't stop acting like broad jet. An arm reach of a gun in the mask. Somebody clip me for 100 in cash. Still feel me. I hit the road and try to get more grip. It was cool till tour bus flip. No charges brought up. Popped up with a kid. Got caught up. Then I put a cord up. Down the road to the riches is taking me longer. It ain't killed me yet, so it's making me stronger. I don't know if it's the hate, frustration, or hunger that keep a going. Rapping for a reason. Don't just happen. It happens for a reason. I'm that dude, like it or love it. I do my thing in the hood and get right with a budget. Ain't afraid to give my life to the public. And when you see me next time, maybe we could further discuss how my 16s give you a visual. I know you think if he ain't really selling, how he live off residuals. But right now the game is pitiful and lonely. They need company cause they miserable. Yeah, it's still real, B. That's why I want you to still feel me. Still feel me. One, I'm out.
We're going to react to this video from the Clipse. They shut down the Vatican. You know, I feel like the Clipse, they want that Grammy, man. They don't just want it. I feel like they're going to go get that Grammy. At the end of the day, that album is, to me, the best album released in hip-hop this year. But everybody has their own perception. You know, Freddie Gibbs dropped a dope album. It was super dope. We expected Nas to drop an album. GNX is going to be considered off of from Kendrick Lamar, but it was released last year, but it still has the whole year to sway the voters for the Grammy. But so far, this right here at the Vatican, this is interesting. If y'all didn't see it, let's check it out together. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Please welcome Clipse.
Lost in emotion, mama's youngest. Trying to navigate life without my compass. Some experience death and feel numbness. But not me, I felt it all and couldn't function. Seeing you that day, telling you my plans, but I was leaving you that day. It was in God's hands. Yeah, it was at Elon's waiting to get with me. On my way to Texas, that's when Virginia hit me. And I realized in that instant, our last conversation, you was against it. Told you I was going to Turks for Thanksgiving. I heard what I wanted to hear, but didn't listen. You said you told Gene that Buck needed forgiveness. I see you went to Didi's and stuffed both her fridges. You even told Dad you wished y'all never split it. So you were checking boxes, I was checking my mentions. Saying you was tired but not ready to go. Basically was dying without letting me know. I love you, Mad Nige. Hate that he won't remember you. Two things that break my heart is what Novembers do. And T follows you. Now mind you, Didi calls you. Gene finds you. Was that your vision? Precision. While I'm reminiscing, it all hits different, my.
I gotta stop it because I got a few takes. Damn. Who else could y'all see doing that? Who else got a song that you can perform at the Vatican in the hip hop culture? Real talk. My fault for y'all for that text. I don't think nobody. Not in hip hop. What could they be talking about? Real spill. This song is, you can translate the message of this song to any human being in the world. Not no disrespect to Kendrick. He's hard. He's fly. He's metaphorical. He's a great orator of records. But it ain't a song on GNX that can be performed at the Vatican. Young boys, I know y'all looking at NBA young boy filling these arenas. Y'all going with y'all ski masks on. He's the king of the YNs and shit. But he can't do nothing like, what he gonna say at the Vatican? Who else? Nas might could do it. Now Nas might got one, but not this year. Not this year. He don't got one this year that can do this. Let's keep playing, man, because you know I can get crazy.
Birds don't sing, the birds don't sing, they screech and plain.
Your car was in the driveway, I knew you were home. By the third knock, a chill ran through my bones. The way you miss mama, I guess I should've known. Chivalry ain't dead, you ain't let her go alone. Found you in the kitchen, scriptures in the den. Half-written text that you never got to send. Combing through your dresser drawer, where do I begin? Post a noted Bible quotes, were you preparing then? I can hear your voice now, I can feel your presence. Asking should I rap again, you gave me your blessing. The way you spelled it out, there's an L in every lesson. Boy, you owe it to the world, let your mess become your message. Shared you with my friends, the pops you never had. You live for our fishing.
That man stopped making secular music and started making religious music. Came back to secular music. Now he's performing in the most religious place in the world, the sanctuary for religion. He said his father told him to go back to rap because you owe it to the world to let your mess become a message.
Damn, I had a dad. Mine taught discipline. Mine taught structure. Mine didn't mind when he had to pull a double. Mine worked overtime, smiled through the struggle. But mine wouldn't let us feel what he had to suffer. See, mine made sure he had every base covered. So imagine his pain finding bass in the cupboard. Birds don't sing if the words don't sting. Your last few words in my ear still ring. You told me that you love me, it was all in your tone. I love my two sons was the code to your phone. Now you're home.
The birds don't sing, the birds don't sing, they screech and plain. Oh, the birds don't sing, the birds don't sing, they screech and plain. The birds don't sing, the birds don't sing, they screech and plain. They screech and play. The birds don't sing. The birds don't sing. They screech and play. They'll never come back again. No, no, no.
Yeah. You know, that was just a song or whatever though, but damn. That was a powerful record. Real talk, man. A powerful record. Salute to the Clipse. Let me give them a round of applause. Damn. I don't know nobody that's going to do it bigger than that this year, man. Real talk. It may be impossible. They talking about Hove. Got something to say. But do he got that much to say? Has he dealt with death? Can he convey the message? Pusha T's verse was passionate. It was a great verse. It's a great song. John Legend did his thing. That hot damn, I don't know what that was. Like, that was an orchestra with all them folk out there, man, playing the flutes, the saxophones, the drums, the pianos. The boys looked good. They was flying in a hot down frisbee. You know what I'm talking about? Out there looking good at the Vatican. The lights was on. The people was intrigued at some black brothers that created hip hop music. Wow. That was a hell of a performance right there. What I want to say though, damn, I'm speechless off of that shit. One more time. I know what I want to say. I had a brain fart, y'all. That shit got me lost right there. That was such a powerful performance. I don't want to keep referencing Kendrick, so I ain't gonna even say what came to my mind. But Malice, I tried to include Nas. He just been doing guest features, cause he's my favorite artist. He's been spitting. He's been helping evolve people's careers and stuff like that. But Malice is the lyricist of the year, man. It ain't even close. It ain't even close. It ain't close. I don't care who y'all talking about. Tell me who close to Malice with the bars this year. Please, in the comment section below. I don't think it's nobody close. But if y'all think so, let me know in the comment section below. I'm going to keep it on hip hop before I get into the gun rights and the gun violence and, the brother being hung in Mississippi. I want to talk about this clip that was on Cam Newton platform with T.I.'s son. He was talking about the big three and how J. Cole bowed out of what I consider the foolishness.
Like, what's your connection with like a Cole or a Kendrick? How did you feel about, J. Cole bowing out of the big three beef?
Yeah. I think it made a lot of sense once we seen what it actually turned into.
Can we talk about it?
Sure, yeah.
When he gracefully bowed out, everybody was like, oh man, that's soft.
Yeah.
But it was really a precursor. He knew what certain parties was capable of.
But he knew himself though. He got such an understanding of himself. He knew like I'm really, if I go forward with this, it's gonna be because of the people. I'm thinking about everyone else thinking about what I should do. You know what I'm saying? That's probably how he thinking. But him having a great understanding of himself, he asking himself, and that took a lot of courage.
No, for sure. I never really thought about it like that though.
Yeah.
Cause you don't really want to be on that type of time.
Don't even really want to do that. He wanna, man, stay on vacation. He want to be on vacation with the family.
Yeah.
So.
Bro, like, dang. Because even for me, I don't have no beef. But you can say certain things and people can assume that to be beef.
Yeah.
And as it's happening, they said this, what you gonna say?
Exactly. Instigating.
And where you got to go to have it justified or validated.
Yeah.
And sometimes you may not even want to, I ain't on that type of time, bro.
The youth is smarter than a lot of individuals think. Because when that beef was occurring, I was talking to brothers. Brothers that I'm close to. And they was calling, J. Cole lame for bowing out of it. DJ Academics was on his platform yelling and hollering, drunk off the yak, talking about, you all brother, you all sister, you all of this and that. Just before this beef happened, J. Cole was the most dominant rapper. Everybody was swinging from his testicles because of the music and the bars and the wordplay that he was creating. But before I give my take, I want to salute to Domani, for being aware of that, because I can tell that J. Cole is one of his inspirations. And J. Cole is the only inspiration in this southeastern part of the United States that is making bar music, high quality rap music, speaking about life experiences and not trying to be no tough guy. I don't know nobody else doing that. So before I give my take, I want to give Domani and J. Cole a round of applause. You know, to publicly walk away from something that isn't servicing you, it takes a power to do that. Because the world is looking at you like, what you gonna do? You know, I can relate to that because I've experienced that in life. The reason I say that I experienced that is because, you know, I didn't experience it in a rap aspect, but I experienced it in the streets when I removed myself from that lifestyle, and niggas and individuals looked at me like I was lame. But life has a bigger purpose, and sometimes you have to make brash decisions. That's what's best for you, and you can't be concerned about what other people think, because you have knowledge of self, and you know your value, and you know who you are. And that's what J. Cole displayed. Now, I'm vouching for Cole. I'm in Charlotte, North Carolina. That display is something that the tough guys that got something to prove to the fuck niggas won't respect. In our reality, they ain't tough. Because when they get themselves in a serious situation, they fold. But J. Cole ain't even going to get himself in a situation because he's going to think, react, and remove himself before it even happens. I salute that, man. You know, I'm looking forward to J. Cole's new album. I want to hear hip hop from his new experiences. You know, he called his album The Fall Off. Words are powerful. I wonder what that really means metaphorically. But, you know, I feel like that decision was great. Drake fell off. He is still talking about Kendrick, LeBron, DeMar DeRozan. He's still concerned with beef. We want to know what your life been like. We don't care about you talking about niggas. Kendrick had his run, got his bag, made his 100 M's, performed at the Super Bowl, and now he did his tour. Stadium tour, not stadium, hold up, stadium tour, not arenas. He was performing at football stadiums. It's a difference. Got his bag, removed himself, and now he's silent. Salute to K-Dot. J. Cole looked himself in the mirror and said, "This ain't me, man." When the last time you looked in the mirror and said, "This ain't me"? Real talk. We can ready to switch the topic up. You know, I ain't aware of this situation, but I seen it going crazy on the internet as of recently. This black brother was found hanging on Delta State University campus in Mississippi. Now, Mississippi, you know, Mississippi is a spooky place. I remember one time, you know, I was nominated for Southeastern Awards, well, SEA Awards. It was 2007 for Mixtape of the Year for my mixtape Grind Time 24/7 365 with DJ Dread. It's on the playlist of my music if you want to find it on the channel Grind Time. And I went through Mississippi through Memphis. We was going to Tunica. And I never been nowhere where I drove for like 30 to 50 miles and it was nothing. When I think of Mississippi, that's all I can think about. It was nothing. It wasn't a gas station. It wasn't a red light. It wasn't a street light. It wasn't a sidewalk. It was grass and street for 30 to 45 minutes. And I said, damn, this is spooky. Like if something happened, you know, something happened. This is Mississippi. And I heard about this. And it concerned me because people are talking about Charlie Kirk's death so much that they ignoring the deaths of other individuals. You know, Charlie Kirk, he was a person that was in politics, so they're going to highlight his situation. But other people shouldn't be, you know, discarded because they died around the same time that somebody that people feel like is a celebrity or somebody that people feel like they can talk about and profit off of dies. So let's tune in and see what happened to this young brother in Delta State University.
Authorities say the body of 21-year-old Dematravion Trey Reed was found hanged from a tree by a faculty member near the pickleball courts. Word spread quickly throughout the Cleveland campus, leaving students and others concerned and worried.
Well, because I am a black student, hearing that happened to another black student, it really made me feel, it's make me feel unsafe.
I do have to walk to class, and I like to go walk on the track, and it would be happy to know like what happened.
Local and state investigators immediately started looking into the incident. DSU Police Chief Michael Peeler says investigators found no evidence of foul play.
But pending an investigation, further investigation, and also from the medical examiner's office, we won't have more information until that part has been done.
And members of
my awareness is heightened. The brother said, he kept pausing to think. Something is not being said.
Reed's family are insisting on a thorough investigation.
Please, 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 please do your research on this. Do not let them sweep nothing else under the rug. Enough is enough.
University President Daniel Enos says the discovery left him heartbroken as he extended his condolences to Reed's family and friends. He added DSU would help students, faculty, and staff with the grief.
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay.
So I'm looking at that, and obviously, they ain't informing the public on nothing. But you know what's crazy and what's interesting about us having a platform? It's up to us to continuously speak about it and make the public investigate, not make the public, but make the authorities investigate it and take it further, and the people that's located there to take it further, because the world is aware of it. Mississippi, no foul play. We're living in a cruel world, man. A cruel world. I want to continue to do my research on that. I'm going to continue and keep looking for articles and researching what's really going on, because that brother deserves justice. I don't know too many brothers killing themselves and hanging themselves from a tree at a pickleball place or whatever. I never heard of that before. Nobody hanging themselves from a tree, especially not no black brother. You know, I just feel like, it's something else to that. Real talk. I wanted to talk about that before I got into this Alexandria Cortez conversation. She talks about gun violence. And the reason that I want to talk about this is because my perception and my perspective and my analogy and my ideology about guns. I hate guns with a passion. The reason I hate guns, I'm traumatized, man. I'm just being honest with y'all. The things that I seen as a youth in my neighborhood. I'm going to give y'all 2 examples of why I'm traumatized. I seen a girl, pow, a pregnant girl, in the stomach, in my face. In my neighborhood where I grew up at, where I couldn't leave because I was a child. We couldn't afford to leave. I remember running home telling my mama about it. Whole neighborhood running at their houses, running towards it to see what happened. because ain't nothing going on. None of us have no life or no interest in nothing that we doing. So we running towards the drama. Another situation I seen. So me living in Knoxville, it's a valley. It's hills and baby mountains everywhere. So a car was coming down the hill, and it was a whole bunch of police cars, helicopters behind them. And the brother he drove through the neighborhood trying to get to his mother's house. God, this is traumatizing. Because his mother's house is where he's most comfortable at. Think about it. Even George Floyd called for his mom when that knee was on his neck. Mama is everything to the black man. We all mama's boys, even if you feel like you ain't. So the brother was driving through the neighborhood trying to get to mama's house. I don't know what had happened, but I know when he got out that car, they shot him over 100 times. This is the 90s. This is graphic and, viewers' discretion right here. I know I said some graphic things, and I apologize for not putting the viewers' discretion first. But they shot that man, and that stuff never hit the news. Nobody ever talked about it, ever seen it on the news. I can't research it on the internet because at that time, the internet may existed, but we didn't have access to it. And I seen it. I remember me and my grandmama was on the porch. And man, his body didn't even, I don't want to keep saying that, talking about it, but I'm traumatized. And this was in the state of Tennessee. Those southern states like that, man, it's things that happen that the world don't know about. And they'll never know about. And I'm just going to continue to do my research on this. Real talk. Let's get into this conversation, though, with Andrea Cortez. No. That story, telling y'all this story got me lost in the soy sauce, man. Let me start that over because I got a clip to show up. Alexandria Cortez, she is reacting to Charlie Kirk's death, and she's talking about gun violence and gun rights in this clip that I'm about to play.
This afternoon. I think what has just transpired is tremendously disturbing. It is the latest evolution and instance of political violence in the United States, and it must end.
Congresswoman, what message do you have to your fellow lawmakers regarding the political environment? What message do you have to your fellow lawmakers regarding the political environment and the rhetoric that has been put out in the media?
Beyond rhetoric, we need to talk about action, and we need to talk about, yes, there are words, but most importantly, we are in a job of leadership. We are in a job of action. We are in a role and a position where the American people are looking to us to do something about this. And every single day, people are dying due to gun violence in America, and every single day there are people in this building that continue to vote against doing anything. They vote against universal background checks. They continue to support legislation and also remove any way to block the mentally ill, to block extremists, to block people with histories and records of domestic violence from getting guns in their hands. So are we going to do something about this or not? We have a political assassination that happened at the same time as a school shooting where children are dying on the same day, a week after a shooting at a Catholic school where children were gunned down while praying. Are we going to do something, or are we going to argue over rhetoric? That is my question about this. We have to pass gun safety legislation and stop this.
One congresswoman was saying, it was yelling at Republicans, and it was Democrats.
People can finger point all they want. Look at the record. Look at the actions of what we are doing. I don't think a single person who has dedicated their entire career to preventing gun safety legislation from getting passed in this House has any right to blame anybody else but themselves for what is happening. We have to stop this. We can stop this. And why don't we start by acknowledging that basic common sense gun safety legislation is not taking away a gun, is not attacking the Second Amendment, but it is about ensuring the safety of our children, of women, of people across this country, to ensure that guns and firearms do not get in the hands of people who are going to use them against human beings, period. Domestic violence is one of the highest indicators of whether a person is going to kill someone else with a gun or not. There are so many other indicators, and I think it is so deeply important that when a politician tries to blame words for inaction, they need to look at their action and their record. Enough of this. This is horrific. This is awful.
I want to say something before I give my perspective and my take. I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a Republican. I don't give two shits about politics or politicians. My interest is the people. I want the best for all. Not just black, not just white, for all. I feel like God put me on this earth, and my purpose for being on this earth is to say that we are all human beings first. It's more guns in this country than it is people, so removing guns isn't going to happen. It's politicians that's getting funded by the people that is, I done forgot their name. I'm passionate right now, and I just got through telling that story that got me thrown off a little bit. But those people fund the politicians to make sure that they get in office. Because if I fund you, can't nobody out-fund me. It's foul play, man. They want the continuous sale of their product, but it's harming the people. People are losing their lives, and people don't care until it's somebody connected to them that lose their life from a gun. I'm sick of it. Don't put me in leadership. Don't put no one that has the same ideology and interests and intentions as me in leadership and to listen to me speak. Because I will have a collective of people and genuinely ask them the question and make sure that they all sober-minded. Is this really what's best for all people, or is this really what's best for profits and gain and financial gain? Even though I realize and I understand we're in a capitalist society and finances is more valuable than a life in America. But at the end of the day, I know it's foul. I just know it's foul. Real talk. I want to play this clip of this pastor in Texas. He was talking about Charlie Kirk's death. And he was mentioning it in a way that, people are attacking him for.
We all got caught up on one death. But I want to be clear that Kirk was not the only one that died last week. His black body is being killed all across the country every week. And we ain't making it a major news story. I think we need to be careful if we don't think just because white on white crime happened that it's more important than when other crimes happen as well. Okay, I'm just saying. And let's keep going. Last week in Denver was the 47th school shooting this year. And we got to be careful and we don't lose our song and get so comfortable with the hell that's raging in our streets. We still got to be conscious that there's some things happening in this world that are trying to rob us of our song. I really despise the way that Kirk was killed last week. I despise the way he was killed. Shouldn't have gone down like that. But political violence ain't nothing new to this nation. Now, let's be clear. Let's be clear. They killed our ancestors over political violence. That was political violence right there. Knees on necks, that's political violence right there. Shooting you down for having some Skittles and a drink, that's political violence right there. Let's be clear, this ain't new. This ain't new. And I want them to be just as concerned about Kirk, and be just as concerned about Trayvon as they were about Kirk, and just as concerned about my brother that just got shot last night as they were about the brother that got shot a couple days ago.
To hear a pastor speak like that is really interesting for me. You know, this is the last conversation of the show, but I want to play another clip before I go about Charlie Kirk talking about gun rights. But he said it's 47 school shootings this year. Damn. Parents, what's your thoughts about that? When you can't afford and they're making it harder for you to be able to afford your child going to a private school if that's an option that you want them to have. I wouldn't even want to bring a child into this world right now. I don't have children, so I can't speak from a parent's perspective. But it's just interesting. 47 school shootings in a year. Why is it so chaotic in this country? One thing I want to say, too, listening to him as a pastor, I will ask him, you know, because he's speaking to his base. And his base is people that look like me and I love us. But if we really spiritual and we really tapped in with that Bible and we really tapped in with what it's talking about, do we think that the heavens care what the race is of the person that's coming in there? You see what I'm saying? Do God care if the person is black or white, Jewish or Hebrew or, you know, Mexican or Latina or, you know, China or Japan? Do the heavens care? If this is, if we believe in this religion and this Christianity, do the heavens care? Because, you know, we need to highlight and be aware of the person that is dead and gone and what happened to them or whatever, though, and make it accessible for people who loved ones love that person, though. But if something happened to me, just let me go in peace. Appreciate me while I'm here. Love me now in the flesh. Don't wait till I'm put to rest. What goes up must come down. Don't wait till I'm dead. Love me in the flesh now. The heavens don't care, man, about your race. And people shouldn't be caring about the past. We got to love ourselves, man, and love the people with the same interests and intentions as us. I hope y'all enjoyed the show, though. I do this for y'all. I don't even do it for me. I just give my take and my perspective because I love the people. I love the people. I love my people. I'm going to leave y'all with some music, though. You know, music is my thing. I got a dope record for y'all, man. It's like 15, 16 years old, though. It's about me. Appreciate y'all, man, for tuning in to my show. Peace, love, plenty of abundance. Make sure you go get you some money and I'm gone.
If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change nothing. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change nothing. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change nothing. I had to get me something. I came up from nothing. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change nothing. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change nothing. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't change nothing. I had to get me something. I came up from nothing. I had to change my mental, upgrade my credentials. How a nigga came up, it wasn't accidental. Now monumental. more like legendary. A player never worry, bumping pop, Hail Murray, trapped off a Blackberry. And contrary to your belief, I made it out them streets, don't acknowledge beef, kept to play discreet. We too unique on the winning streak, spent a couple racks at the boutique. I wouldn't change nothing, I'm always me. Never took a plea, nigga, you a flea. I'm your OG's OG. He called me for inspiration, need a consultation, just make the payment for the conversation. If it's elevation or innovation, my expectation ain't limitation. You need a demonstration, my track record and reputation should be admiration. That's confirmation, I'm decoration for the trenches, off the benches.
Your middle name is Macho, but I'm wondering if you ever cry. You ever has Macho Man ever cried?
Oh yeah.
Really?
It's okay for macho men to show every emotion available right there, you know, because I've cried 1,000 times, I'm gonna cry some more. But I've soared with the eagles and I've slithered with the snakes and I've been everywhere in between. And I'm gonna tell you something right now. There's one guarantee in life, and that there are no guarantees, yeah. And understand this. Yeah. Nobody likes a quitter. Nobody said life was easy, so if you get knocked down, take the standing 8 count, get back up, and fight again. And you're a macho maniac. Dig it.
The Trevor Jackson Podcast.